What is going on, boys and girls of the outdoor world? We are here today at Young Guns HQ to do what many people have been doing this year already, and that's patterning our turkey guns. And for this first video, we are going to be seeing whether or not like a 10 gauge is too big for turkeys, too much overkill, 12 gauge is just right, or maybe even a 20 gauge is too small. So that's what we're doing out here today. We're really excited for spring and can't wait to get going.
We've had an above average winter this year. It's been cold, it's been extra snowy, and we're just ready to get out there and chase some longbeards. And what better way to start with some nice patterning?
Heck yeah, dude. Let's get it going. Alright guys, so like the first shots we're going to be taking today are going to be with my Browning BPS 10 gauge shooting a Kix 690 Gobblin Thunder choke. We got some nice Truglo sights on here for turkey hunting and a beautiful Breast Collectors logo. But the shells we're going to be shooting, I actually bought these a couple years ago. These are from Federal. These actually still have the old flight control wad in them, so not the flight control flex like in the new Grand Slams, the new 3rd degrees, and the new TSS. So like one of the things that Federal usually says about these shells is that they don't like ported choke tubes and choke tubes that strip the wad. So I am actually seeing how well these are actually going to pattern because one of the things about this choke tube, it has the diagonal portings, and it's usually like a wad stripping choke. So I have no idea how well this is going to pattern, but we're out back here at 30 yards and we're just going to see how well this thing patterns compared to the 12 gauge and the 20 gauge, and just to see how it stacks up, whether it's too much overkill or whether the shells don't even stack up because the wad stripping choke is maybe just going to make it fly everywhere. So yeah, we're back at 30 yards and we'll see how it goes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the product after the 30-yard shot with the 10 gauge. We counted all the holes in the kill zone from basically here up, and then from there up we're counting pretty much 81 hits. We didn't count within the 10-inch circle because I really don't care about that, because pellets that don't hit the turkey don't really matter. So, but yeah, that was with the 10 gauge Browning BPS Kix 690 Gobblin Thunder with a regular Federal Premium number 5 shot 3.5 inch. And I tell you what, folks, that turkey is absolutely destroyed. But I also don't think it's overkill. So with that being said, let's move on to the next test. Alright guys, we just got done shooting the 10 gauge, and like just to keep it as like fair as possible, we're going to be shooting the Remington Nitro Turkeys. The only reason I say to keep it to like a fair advantage is because like this is not a specialized turkey load. And when I say specialized, it's not like a Longbeard XR where it has like the resin in, you know, inside the shell to keep it super tight. Or it's not like the TSS where it has like a different type of shot so you can use a super tight choke in it. So like just to keep it to the most fair advantage, I'm basically shooting a really cheap turkey load that I've also used for years. This is a great load. I've shot at my 20 gauge and I've killed over 5 birds with it. This is a great load, but just to keep it like as fair as possible through all the tests, this is the load I'm going to be shooting. So we have Remington Nitro Turkey, 12 gauge, 3.5 inch, number 5 shot. They're all number 5 shot, just to keep it, again, just as fair as possible. And we're still back at 30 yards, and we'll see what it does. Oh my. That almost looks better than the 10. Alright guys, so here's the product after the shot with the 12 gauge, and one thing I forgot to mention is that the choke tube we're shooting is a Jellyhead 655 out of the Benelli Nova. I don't know why I forgot to tell you guys that, but I definitely did. But yeah, from what we can see here, I may have like held a little bit higher. I think I shot about like right here. So you can see the very center of the shot is pretty much centered on the center of the head. We counted 61 hits inside of the kill zone just like last time. But I don't necessarily want to say that this is a worse pattern than the 10 gauge just because we had less hits in the kill zone, because if I feel like if I would have held somewhere around here, these pellets up here would have been concentrated more in the middle, the ones more in the middle would have been concentrated more down here. So I really don't want to give it to the 10 gauge right now because I think this is just as good a pattern as the other one. But we still have one more test, and that's with the 20 gauge, so let's get to it. Alright guys, we're on to our third and final test for this video, and that is with the 20 gauge. Now, this is the gun that I have killed almost all my turkeys with. I've killed 5 out of the 6 turkeys I've killed with this gun right here. It is a Browning Gold Hunter 20 gauge, where you're going to be shooting out of the Carlson's Longbeard XR choke, because I intended on shooting Longbeard out of this gun this year, but wasn't in the cards, so that's a big deal. And we're still going to be shooting the Remington Nitro Turkey shells. These are the shells that I killed every turkey with from 10 yards to 45 yards. So this has one heck of a load, and that's why I picked it for this test. And we'll see how it does at 30 yards. Alright guys, here's what we got for the 20 gauge pattern, and let's just say I am less than impressed with the Longbeard XR choke using the Nitro Turkey shells, because I'm going to put a little clip in from our video that I made last year using the Primos tightwad choke tube in these shells, and I had dang near the same results that the 12 gauge did with the exact same load. So I am not even close to impressed with this choke and this load. Now, if I were to use Longbeard, I bet you the results would be phenomenal, but I didn't put the choke tube in, don't have the shells, big deal. So this is what we got, and let's hit it with a recap. Alright guys, so here's the recap. We have basically the shots all in order, so we have the 10, the 12, and the 20 right here. Basically, from what I can gather, it's basically personal preference at this point. Obviously, I'm not going to be shooting this choke with this shell combo at anything past 20, because that 10 hits in the kill zone is obviously not going to cut it. But these two patterns are absolutely phenomenal, with basically a $50 choke tube and like $15 a box for 10 shells. I mean, you can't get any better than that for the money, in my opinion. And I personally, I have yet to decide whether or not I will be shooting the 12 gauge or the 10 gauge this year. I have no idea, but based on these two patterns, it's going to be a heck of a decision. Alright guys, that's going to do it for us here at Young Guns for this patterning video today versus the 10, 12, and 20 gauge, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
Stay tuned for future patterning videos using different shells and choke tubes. See you in the next one.